So I recently saw this post on LinkedIn, and I want us to look at the post and then share some thoughts with you here. You can see the post as well on the screen. Dear hiring managers, stop assuming employment gaps are bad. Life happens. Health battles and death too happens. Raising children, taking care of sick loved ones. Stop relying on algorithms to tell you who people are, what they are capable of. Start giving people a chance to explain their gap. Hi with your heart and your brain. Thank you. And the person's name is there. Now, the interesting thing is that I went through the comment section to find out how people will respond to messages like this. And about 99.9% of the messages, they were all in support. Yeah, it's true. What a powerful request. Yada, yada, yada. You do, you do, you. But this is one thing you must understand. The company doesn't care about who you have to take care of. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Before you get emotional, the company doesn't care about who you have to go take care of. The company doesn't care about what happened to you, that life happened to you, that you got married, that you got sick, that you got to take care of a sick loved one. The company doesn't care about you. You know why? Because shareholders' money cannot be bent because of you. So in as much as you will say that, oh, companies should employ with heart and brains, your life is not important than the survival of the company. So let me ask you, if you are an HR person, you are an entrepreneur, you are the owner of the business, and you have two candidates applying for a certain role, applying for a certain job, a role in your company. One of the candidates has all the qualification, but has a gap of 5 years that they have not worked. The other one, same qualification, but has been working. Which of these two people will you employ? You see, we like to be too emotional, forgetting that our needs, the way our needs are important to us, that is the same way the company's needs is also important to the owners of the company. So let's talk about this. Maybe you became a chartered accountant. Then you took some time off, maybe 5, 6 years, because you got married, you had to give birth and all of those things. So for 5, 6 years, you've not been working. Then after that 5, 6 years, you now say, oh, I want a job. Then you're applying for a key role in a company. You want to tell me that the employer or the company should give you, who have been out of work for 6 years, for 5 years, the opportunity to explain why you've been out of work and not give the job to somebody who has been active? Do you know that it is disastrous to employ somebody who has been out of practice for a number of years in certain roles? Why? Because 5 years, 3 years is a long time for things to change in the industry, in the sector, in the role, in the function, in the way things are supposed to be done. So if you're out of work and you are coming back and whatever reason you have, it is inconsequential to the company. Again, you will be emotional because you are thinking about, oh, they should consider you. Have you thought about the consequences that a company will face if you become a liability by employing somebody who has been out of work for 6, 5, 3 years? Yeah, I know you're going to argue and say, oh, you don't know that somebody can be out of work for 5 years, but the value the person brings on board, masa. Stop it right there. Stop it. 99.9% of the time, it's not going to fly. Employers do not employ because of people's emotion. They employ because people have recent, current skills, expertise, qualification to meet the role, the objective of the role, and to help the company to achieve its objective. So your emotions is inconsequential to the company. You can fight it. You can go to the moon, But that is the truth. You see, when you understand the realities in life, it will be easier for you. Professionally, ethically, it will be wrong for a company to employ somebody, say a chartered accountant, who has been out of practice. So the person became a chartered accountant, then went off the record, did non-accounting things for 5-6 years. Then the person comes back to come and apply for a key accounting role, a key accounting and finance role in the company. Then he say, we should employ the person because the person is a chartered accountant. No, that is a suicide mission the company is going on. Because you've been out of practice for the past 5-6 years. How can the company trust you to record transactions, to use softwares, to be able to present things in the manner that they are supposed to be presented in accordance with their acceptable financial reporting standards or financial reporting framework? So I understand your emotions, but your emotions are inconsequential to the success of the company. If you have career gap, then you have to find a way to bring yourself back to the record. But don't sit there to defend yourself that because you have a gap, somebody should give you an opportunity to explain your gap. What are we using your explanation for? We need results. We need somebody who has been in the game. We need someone who has the experience. We need someone whose hands is dirty. That is how the world is. You may not agree with it. You may fight it. You may say it's not a good system. When you open your company and you are the CEO of your company and you are employing people and you receive an applicant and somebody has been out of job for 5 years and 6 years, you can employ the person. I know. You're going to say, Nhyira, you don't talk like that. That is life. That is the reality. That's what the companies are there for. They are there to employ people with recent skills, expertise, knowledge to fix problems, not to deal with people who have burdens. No. Oh, so your career gap is because you had to take care of a sick loved one. Okay. So you were taking care of a sick loved one for 3 years, for 4 years. All right. So we should give you the role because you have the qualification, but you have been out of practice for 4 years because you were taking care of a sick loved one. Okay. How does that add value to the company? How does that solve the company's problem? Then the second thing in this thing was that companies should stop using algorithm to tell them the people who are capable. Listen, this is the new world we are in. When a company announces a role or publish a role, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of applications that are going to fly in. You think that somebody should sit down or we should put people down to go through all the 1,500 applications? No. So there are softwares, AI platforms that are available. So all the applications that I receive, boom, they are put there. And it is configured to look for certain things based on the role, based on the qualification and the requirements that have been published. That is put into the software or used to train the AI. So they put in the applications. And out of the 100 or 200 or 300 applications, maybe the software will just select 3 or 4 people. Yeah, you can say, yeah, the entity may end up losing professional clients. This is the world system. It's there. The company has published specifically what they want. If that is not in your CV, why do you think they should consider you and employ you? No, I just don't know. You see, the level of entitlement and the lack of conscious understanding of some people, I don't get it. You think your bottom line is important to you, but you don't think the shareholders' money, the success of the company is important to them. You think the company should spend money to do something because you want to be treated in a certain way. It won't happen that way. So for the algorithm, they will be used by the companies. The AI tools, they will be used by the companies. What does that mean? It means you as an individual must learn the rules of the game and adapt to it. That is why you cannot have one CV and you use that same CV to apply for job in various companies. You cannot do that. Your CV must be modified based on the requirements of the job, what they are looking for specifically. So the CV you use to apply, maybe it could be the same role, but in different companies. So you can't use the same CV. Why? Because it may be accepted in one industry or in one company, but may be rejected in another company. So you have to tailor make. And you must understand, this is where the world is. Nobody is going to babysit you. Nobody is going to consider your emotional blackmail. Nobody is going to take care of you. Nobody will consider it. We are building a company. We want to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. We want to build a sustainable company. There are a lot of people's life on the line, and you want us to ignore everything to pick you because of your crybaby attitude? No, it's not going to happen. So my friend, companies will consider career gap. And if the career gap doesn't make sense, you have lost the job. There is nothing you can do about it. Number two, companies will continue to use AI tools, algorithms to, look through applications. The earlier you adapt yourself to the system, the better. If you feel it is not a good system, start your own company. And when you start your own company and you're a business owner and you are spending X amount of money on a role, employ people with significant career gap and call that emotional support. Thank you for watching. Let me hear from you in the comment section.